Hey guys, it's Tahs. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. So today we are going to wrap up January. I'm a little late on getting this done, but I tried to record it once already and I didn't like the way it came out. So we're going to do it again. Alright, so I have two other videos that have the other stuff I read in January. One was an unboxing for what is the name of this box? Let me see. I'm losing my mind for a second. For the Once Upon a Book Club, Once Upon a Time thing. So I'll link that, as well as I did like a thing of books that I read, like audio. So I'll link those down below. So for this one, we're going to start off with the first book, I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. Now this one I thought had really great potential to be great, but it didn't live up to, I guess, my own hype I put in it, because I was like, I really liked another book by her, and I just feel like this one didn't quite get it. This one is about Amy. She's kind of, sort of moderately famous, but like she's a celebrity, but like up and coming. And she has one of those faces that you know her, but you can't place her. And one day she comes home from work and her husband is missing, but like all of his stuff is still there. And she calls the cops, and you know, they come and take statements and whatnot, but like everything is there, but he's not. And they think she's hiding something, which she is, but it has nothing to do with her husband being missing. It's past trauma that she had that she's kind of like keeping on the DL. And as we go through this, she decides she's going to live a normal life and go work on set and do everything she needs to do every day. And then she like randomly checks in with the police, and that just makes you look even more suspicious, even though you're not. And then on top of that, money was emptied out of their checking account, and she thinks the husband did it, but come to find out, they said it was her, and she has like no recollection of it. So you're trying to figure out like, okay, did she take this money out and just doesn't remember, or is there something else going on? And then we have flashbacks to the childhood trauma that she has. And it really doesn't reveal like a whole lot, in my opinion. And then we also have this other perspective of the person who is stalking her obsessively and stuff. So once all the twisty turnies complete and you get to the resolution at hand, it wasn't that great. It was kind of gross. Like, it was one of those reveals that you were kind of like, I could have went without knowing that type thing. So this one, like I said, it had great potential. And from some reviews that I saw on this one after I read it, some people guessed what was going to happen like very early on in the story. I had my feelings, but I didn't think it would go that route. Like, I never thought myself to be thinking that, so I didn't. But I can't give you a whole lot, because it's going to like, you'll know it before you even start it. Like, that's, I don't know. So anyway, check trigger warnings before you go in, because if I'd have done that, I might have not read it, because it was just kind of against my, you know, that tingly feeling like, maybe I shouldn't have read that. So that's just how I feel. And then I read Now Lorraine Has Gone by Lowry, which I'll pop right here. And this one is about a woman named Lorraine. She is found dead in her lover's bed, and her husband, which would have been her ex-husband because they had filed for divorce already, but it hadn't been finalized, had to go and sign off. And I just thought the first line of the book was kind of funny. It was like, I never thought I'd see you naked again type thing. And they said this book was supposed to be funny humor. Like, I didn't find it was that funny. They had a couple moments, but this one right here is about this guy. His soon-to-be ex-wife is now dead, and now he has to start kind of like going through everything, and he's finding some stuff that's not quite lining up how it should, like as far as finances and stuff go. So he has to start tracking all that down. And in the midst of it, he's kind of thinking of love again, and you get to kind of see him explore that side of it while still dealing with the aftermath of the death of his wife or whatever. But they really had a cute, really cute little dog in it. I'm a sucker for dogs, so I was really happy with the dog. And just like I said, they had a few funny things, and there was some stuff that was left unresolved. But overall, it was an okay read. It's not something that I would have ran out to get, but entertaining nonetheless. And then we have The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. About to drop it. This one was about 3 people, like more than that, but there was a trio. The main trio was Monty, Percy, and Felicity. Felicity is Monty's sister, and Percy is Monty's best friend. Monty is a bisexual, I guess he would be an earl or a lord once he gets to that point of his life. Well, anyway, the point of the story is that he and his best friend are going on like a grand tour, and the sister's tagging along because she's going to be dropped off at school during the process. And Monty is secretly in love with Percy, but he doesn't know how to come out and tell him. So he has, you know, his little whorish ways or whatever about himself. And the characters themselves, I've actually fell in love with the characters. The setting, however, you probably could have put them somewhere different, and I just still love them. Some stuff that happened in the book on their journey of their grand tour, it was fine, but some of it, I didn't really need to know all that, you know. But just their relationship and the banter and the growth that these 3 characters have throughout is great. It's set like in the 1800s or whatever. And his dad, Monty's dad, thinks he's like this screw up. So he basically gets to have this grand tour, but comes with stipulations. We're sending somebody to babysit you, and you have to do these tasks on this list. And things take a really wild turn at one point, and they have to find their way back on their own. So we get to watch their struggle to get where they need to go, and like they develop, just the development of the characters I found was great. So will I read the next one in the series? I don't know. Am I mad for reading this one? No. Like I said, I thought it was very funny as far as the characters, but maybe the plot point, I didn't quite, like I didn't need it. So yeah, that one. And I think this book, if I'm not mistaken, was on my 22 and 2022 to read. So check that off. And then we have You Have a Match by Emma Lord. This was my Reese Witherspoon book club selection. If you don't know, I am currently have all of those in a cup because I want to read everything that she's recommended for her book club. I'm just really behind on, like I didn't even know she had one at first. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. And this one right here is about Abby, who her and her 2 best friends, they decide one of them wants to take a DNA test because he wants to learn about his biological parents because he's adopted. But he doesn't want to do it alone, and he also knows that if you buy in bulk, they're cheaper. So he convinces the other friends to do it, and Abby winds up taking hers to nudge him because he is also like her secret, like she's in love with him but doesn't want to come out and say it type thing. And once Abby's results come back, she finds out that she has a full-blooded sister out there named Savannah, who is like a 1.5 years older than she is. So what do we do when we find out we have a sibling that nobody talks about? We secretly meet up with them at summer camp, and we try to, you know, parent trap them type thing, just like the movie. It gave you those kind of vibes. And the girls are developing a relationship, like a very sisterly relationship, and then some stuff winds up going down or whatever. The parents show up, and they can see the tension between their parents, and they have no idea why. So they're trying to figure out, like, what in the world possessed my parents to have a kid and give her up for adoption and then have me a year and a half later or whatever, but like no mention of said sister. So we get to see them kind of struggle through the process of like, why would mom and dad do that type thing, and also like, why did those sets of parents stop talking. So the girls are kind of the instigator on that, to kind of get the parents to fess up of what happened in the past so that we can move on into the future. But I thought it was really cute. And I think this is the same author of Tweet Cute or Meet Cute. Tweet Cute, yes, Tweet Cute. I think I have that one on Kindle to read, and they say that one is even better than this one. So I can't wait to read another book by Emma Lord to see if it is better than this one. And then I read this one, Here We Go Again by Betty White, and it was narrated by Betty White on the audiobook. I absolutely loved it. This covers her basically getting into acting and the process of learning the show type stuff, like how she started out on radio, and then it went to TV, and her work that she does with the animal societies and stuff. She was very big into animals, and she's talked about that throughout the years, but hearing how she brought that into her life then and held on to it was really great. She had some very funny stuff happen, like as you're reading with, you know, she's reading it to you and she just starts cracking up or whatever. And I've always loved Betty White. She is hilarious to me. Golden Girls was like my first time really seeing Betty White, but in the book you learn that she was on shows prior to that I had no idea. So it kind of makes you want to go back and see, like for instance, the Mary Tyler Moore show. I didn't know that. So I might have to go back and YouTube some Mary Tyler Moore, because I did watch that when I was younger, but I guess I hadn't put Betty White to that face. And it was just entertaining. She's always been a hoot. So I'm hoping to be able to read, I think she has at least one other one, if not two other books. So I do want to get those as well, because I liked hearing about the way she took on the career and made it her own. So if you like Betty White, go ahead and give this one a listen. You Me Everything by Catherine Isaac. And this one is about Jess, who she had a baby with her boyfriend Adam, and she was tired of his cheating, lying type ways and his lack of interest in fatherhood, and so she left. She took the kid and went. And now it's like 10 years later, like he knows obviously as a kid, very little contact, but her mom is currently in a nursing facility, and she is pretty much on the last leg of her life. She's got a disease that is just depreciating her day-to-day life as it goes forward, and unfortunately it is hereditary. So there's a high chance that Jess can have it because her mom has it. So her mother's one of like her last wishes type thing, because she can still, you know, communicate, but just not well. She wants Jess to get with Adam to let him like really get to know his son. Like that's like her big thing that she wants. So Jess packs up her kid, which is does it say his name? William. Packs up William, and they go across country or whatever. Is it country? Well, they set off to spend the summer at the hotel that he runs, and in the beginning when they get there, she finds that he is not putting in the time to build the relationship. So there's a couple times they butt heads about that. He's choosing to spend time with his girlfriend or whatever instead of his son. And finally she tells him like the reasonings behind all of this, and she's scared because also that means her son can have the same thing that her mom has. And just to watch the father-son relationship grow, because she doesn't want her son to be alone if she does have the disease and dies early in life, or even if she becomes like her mom is right now. She doesn't want her son to have to go through that alone. So she really wants him to have a relationship with his dad. So we get to see the coming together of the family and how Adam takes on responsibility of fatherhood. And there's some very tender moments in here. You're gonna cry. There's funny stuff. You're gonna laugh. It's got all the feels. And the subject matter, like I said, chronicle, like an illness. And it's just a lot to kind of take in. But I'm glad I read it. And I scored it at the Dollar General. I didn't think I'd find such a good book there. But I did. And it was $2. So check this one out. And the last one is Going Home, a Green Bayou novel by Rhonda Dennis. And this one is set in Green Bayou, Louisiana. This one is about Emily, who is a paramedic, and she is currently working in New Orleans. She has been for years. I'm not sure the number of years. Something happens in New Orleans, and she's basically told you can move on happily out of this department, or you're not a paramedic anymore. Like, this is all hush hush. You figure out what you want to do. So she decides, you know what, I'm just going to go back to Green Bayou. It's a very peaceful, have a whole new try at life. I'm not even going to mess with all this. So she contacts the person who got her into EMT and was like, hey, this is what's kind of going on. Do you have anything for me? And he does. He has one spot that he told her. He said, I've multiple people have pretty much run through this position and they left or they disappeared or something. And he's like, please don't do that to me. And she's like, I wouldn't. So she comes back home to her hometown, and she's staying in her childhood home. Her parents decided at some point to move to Maine, and they're kind of regretting that decision. So they come back and forth to visit, and they happen to be coming. They come for Mardi Gras, Christmas, like all that, while she's living in the house. And she picks things back up with her high school sweetheart, and they figure all that out, and they're, just regular dating. And then she gets assigned her partner for EMT, and his name is Jacob, and she's like kind of like in a little triangle here because she like has feelings for Jacob, but she also has feelings for Pete. So she has to sort out her own feelings there. But then on the paramedic side of it, different events kind of put her in danger. Like at one point they go to this call, and it's a very like scary scene, and her life is in danger. And then we flash back to see how she got to be a paramedic and like what caused the chain of events that caused it. And something is going crazy in the town, and there's this mystery there that she's trying to solve and stay out of to stay alive. So she is hoping that going home wasn't the worst, like her mistake. She's hoping that like she can figure out the mystery and be clear of it. So this one right here, the first bit of it was a little slow, but it's a brand new series. Well, for her, it was a brand new series, so she has to build that, the backdrop, the background, the whole thing. But after that, I found like we moved at a really good pace. Things with her relationship progressed. And then as far as like the mystery in the background, because it's like a suspenseful mystery romance type thing, that built as well. And then we get to the crescendo, and it crescendoed. And yeah, I really think I might wind up, maybe not right away, but sticking with this series, here and there, a little Louisiana pick me up, because I find it's always fun reading books that are based in your area. because it's like, oh, I know where that is. I know what this is. Or at least that's how I feel, because if you guys remember, I read the books by F.J. Roberts. I will pop them up here. And so far, all the ones I've read, I've picked something out of them that I can relate to because I've been there, or I've passed by it, or I've heard of it. So I just find that a very fun quality in a book. So for the month of January, I read and listened to 18 books, which was a total of 6,332 pages. So not a bad start for January. You know, not a bad start for the year. So we shall see how the rest of the year goes in comparison to that. And February, I've already got quite a list started there. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, y'all.